Good evening, my friends. My name is Walter Dracula. We are going to have a gentleman who's playing Renfield. Yes, he's crazy. But this is from the Dracula Files. He's author, actor, book writer, the man Tom McLaren. So let's welcome him to the Jim Craine Show right now. Good evening, Tom.
Hey, Jim, how are you? With a lead-in like that, wow, I'm impressed.
Let me tell you something. I think Dracula is one of the coolest guys in the world. He always got those white-necked hot broads back in the Universal movies, you know, and you see that scared look on their face. And he got them all, man. Got them all. Tom, how is everything going? This is a really neat thing that you're doing here, the Dracula Files. Tell the folks about it. What is it all about?
Well, I am so proud to be a part of the Dracula Files. Well, what it is an audio drama, which is a modern-day update of the classic Dracula story. So it has all the characters that we all know and love. I play the insane insect-eating Renfield, and it's really just a dream role for me. I'm so lucky to be involved with the talented people that are doing this project. And, you know, a lot of actors, you know, when they're asked about what their dream role would be, a lot of them will name Shakespeare, you know, Othello, Hamlet, or something like that. But I have to tell you that I would actually choose something from the Universal Monster series, and I would tell you that Renfield really is my number one favorite, so I'm a lucky guy.
That is really cool. How many people are in the show total? I mean, do you do this? It's sort of like an old radio drama, right?
It's in the vein of the old radio mystery horror show, certainly, like Inner Sanctum for people who remember that.
Sure.
It's in the vein of that, but it's an audio drama series, and the second season just launched a couple days ago. And I don't want people to be kind of scared off by the word season. It's not as though it's going to be a 13-hour commitment of your time.
Yeah.
Season 1 is about 70 minutes long, and Season 2 is about 2 hours long. And there's also a Season 3 that's planned and hopefully will be out next October as well. There's probably about, I would say, 10 regulars in the show and a number of additional voices. So it follows along, you know, all the people that you know and love. There's Nina, there's Lucy, there's Renfield. They're all in there. So it's spooky, thrills and chills. It's just fun. For everybody who loves Dracula, this is kind of a new reimagining of it. It's kind of a new spin. So I think it's exciting and it's different. It's done in the style of found audio. Are you familiar with that term?
Sure. Oh, sure. Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it really is interesting. And now you can listen to the Season 1 and everything beforehand. You can hear that because this is Season 2 now. So can they catch up on it, or how do they do that?
Absolutely. What we've done is we've got Season 1 and Season 2 are both available now.
Okay.
And since this is an audio drama, and I've gotten some question marks about what that is. I mean, you can't hear it on the radio.
Okay, yeah, I know that, yeah.
Well, I've had some people who are like, what is an audio drama? I really have no idea what that is, but it's sort of like an audio book. And basically how you consume it is it's a digital download from iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play.
Yeah.
And for those who prefer an actual CD, a physical CD that they hold in their hands, you can get that from StoryForgeProductions.com.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Both seasons are out right now.
That's really neat. So it's an updated version. Where does it take place? I mean, like the whole it's an updated version of Dracula. So where does it take place?
This one is set in San Francisco.
Okay.
Which lends itself to some spooky sound effects and such. I think it's actually a perfect setting because it's found audio. What's kind of unique about this is, you know, it really is kind of a day-to-day unfolding of the characters' lives. And whether it be through voicemails or journals, we're learning about these characters through their personal communications. So if they have a scene where they're talking on an iPhone, we actually recorded it on an iPhone. If there's something that's said outside, we recorded it outside. When we meet Renfield in Season 2, he has escaped from the insane asylum, and they catch up with him out there, and that's my first really long, hysterical scene as Renfield this season. It was quite a challenge.
I'll tell you, I love the character of Renfield. There's so many different approaches to him in all the different films, but I have to tell you, the one that really made me laugh was, that was kind of, they made him funny, was in Transylvania 6-5000 when Artie Johnson played him. Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
Great Artie Johnson. Yeah, I loved laughing. That guy is a brilliant comedian.
And of course, Carol was his the lady from Seinfeld, Carol Wayne. No, that's not her name. Carol, can't think of her name anyway. But she played his wife.
Carol Wayne is. I can picture her. Yeah.
No, you know who that is. Yeah. So, what is your character like? Can you do a little bit of the voice for us, or where did you? Now you said you really liked the Universal films. Did you kind of channel that, or what?
Well, yeah, to take you way back to the beginning, when I was a very little boy, I was obviously heavily influenced by the Universal monster movies. I'll date myself here, but for those who remember Creature Features on a Saturday night, I was a kid in the Chicago area, so I would stay up and watch, I believe it was WGN television, and that's where I got acquainted with all the classics. And the original Dracula, the 1931 Bela Lugosi film, was my all-time favorite. And Dwight Frye, what a brilliant actor that guy. He created such an iconic and memorable character. For me, that is one of the most memorable characters I have ever seen on film. So I felt like I had these huge shoes to fill, but when I got the script is so good. I read it, and I was able to actually immediately visualize a unique interpretation. I found Renfield to be a very sympathetic, tragic soul. When I was talking with our director, Karen Keene, about him, I said, I picture Renfield on this continuum. There's human on one side, there's animal on the other side, and this poor guy, this poor tortured man, is fighting and struggling and going back and forth on this continuum. And when we meet him, he's a little more on the human side, but he does fall under the master's spell. And in season 2, you're going to get some growling. You're going to get a little bit of strange stuff out of Renfield, and he's kind of teetering on the animal side of that continuum. So it's a different spin from Dwight Frye, but I'm definitely influenced by such a great actor, and it's just a little different Renfield. I hope people like it.
It should be. It sounds very interesting. The whole thing is kind of cool. I'm going to actually go on and listen to some of it. I haven't had a chance to just yet. A little busy this week, but it's and I loved all those movies too. Every one of them. And that's the quintessential of scary. All the Universal films, with. You got Frankenstein, you got the Wolfman, you got the Mummy, you got, the Dracula series, Jekyll and Hyde, and all those different ones. And then those great comedies came out, too, with Costello and everybody, and they used all the original people. And then you even move it up into the present day, and you look at Young Frankenstein, where they used all the original equipment and everything, And Bella...
I tell you a story about Young Frankenstein. Just
sure,
a
go
couple
ahead.
Days ago, I was on the 20th Century Fox lot for a private screening of Young Frankenstein, and Mel Brooks was there to introduce it.
Oh, did you get to talk to him?
No. He was kind of in and out, but oh my God, I felt like I actually, to tell you the truth, it brought a tear to my eye to see this great man. He's still so sharp and spry and funny, and he knows how to work an audience.
He's funny as hell. I'm trying to get him on the show. I'm reaching out to some people that I know on the West Coast. I'm trying to get him. I'd love to talk to him. And
he just released a book on the film, so he's actually kind of prime on the circuit right now. So that would be so wonderful. Let me tell you, this guy he's as sharp and funny as he ever was.
Yeah.
He got up there and he just impressed all of us, and it was like this sentimental moment for me, and I just had this moment. It's like I'm witnessing history.
Yeah, and that movie is so great with our boy Marty Feldman And, of course, Gene Wilder, who we just lost, and Madeline and Terry Garr. And it just, but my favorite in that is Cloris Leachman, because every time, Frau Blucher, it's like, I mean,
yeah, I remember I did talk to her once. When I was first starting as an actor, the very first television thing I did a couple extra jobs, a couple background jobs. I got to be an extra on Raising Hope, and
nice.
She was so great on that show. She's just such a talented woman, and a real star.
I mean, you love these character actors, that a lot of them we have lost, and there's still a few left, but the character actors that we grew up with, in our time and everything else, it's like, it's really something.
Hey, I got a question for Tom. Tom, real quick, back to the Dracula Files. Since it's an updated version, did you guys give Dracula like a night shift job? Is he like an overnight security agent or anything like that?
No.
That's actually pretty, that's interesting.
I know, that would actually be an interesting spin. Dracula, no, he does not have a day job or a night job, but he has this looming presence. And I think he's going to have an even bigger role as we get into the next season, the third part of this trilogy. But he's looming over all of us and torturing all of us. So it's a unique interpretation. A great actor's doing it. You'll have to listen to see.
Does he? Okay. Does he do is it the typical Dracula voice on the thing, or? Does he talk modern now, or I mean, does he? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It's a great voiceover part, so it's not in the modern style the way a normal regular guy would talk. So there is kind of a little accent to it, but it's very unique. It's very different from Bela Lugosi, very different from Frank Langella and all the great actors who played this character. So it's something to hear. I believe if you go to iTunes and Amazon, I think you can actually preview this, because the seasons are set up as very small audio episodes.
Right.
So I think in season 2 there's like 40 to 50 actual individial episodes that'll add up to be the 2-hour total.
Really,
so
it really sounds cool. I mean, it's like is there any talk of maybe bringing this to television or making it a movie or some, to bring a modern version of it, or no?
From your lips to God's ears, as
okay.
they say. I mean, you never know. I think, this story is ripe to be reimagined in so many different ways. And these characters can be reinterpreted so many different ways. And I know that, a lot of the big studios love to do CGI stuff and, and make it kind of different from what we experienced in the past. But I think there's a basic, interesting, scary story there, and there's very interesting characters that can develop and grow over time. So I think it's got tremendous potential, for television or for film. I mean, there's a lot of remakes going on right now. I mean, The Exorcist is on Fox right now. There was Damien on FX last year. So, I think, it's actually a good point. It's time for a Dracula series. I mean, I know they did one a couple years ago with that actor, Jonathan, I think it's Jonathan Rhys-Meyers or something along those lines. Yeah, so they did try that, but I think they can try it again.
And I mean, you have I think that was on NBC was Grimm, and these different ones that sort of have a dark look to them and everything. And Once Upon a Time, that's what my brother watches, and I mean, a lot of those are sort of in the Dracula sort of vein, no pun intended there. But, and I mean, thinking in my comedy mind, it'd be great if Dracula went to Beverly Hills. It'd be rather interesting, what I'm saying. But it really sounds like it's interesting, and, it really sounds like you're in love with it, and it's really a cool thing. Now, you've been in some other films, right? You have some stuff on Netflix and everything else. Tell us about that.
Yes. I mean, the Dracula Files was really my first theatrical voiceover job.
Okay.
I'm very grateful for it. But prior to that, I really started in film, television, and commercials. And I'd say the 3 movies that have been most popular, that I've been very lucky that they received a very wide release. I'm in a comedy film called Expelled, which is on Netflix. I play the dad of Cameron Dallas.
Cool.
I'm in a horror film, and I love horror, so that was quite a treat, called The Exorcism of Molly Hartley, which is also on Netflix. I play a priest in that one, and yes, I do an exorcism. So that was a moment in time for me, let me tell you.
Wow. Hey, Tom, we found one of those teasers for this, so just hang in there for a second on hold. Go ahead there, Danny.
Greetings. My name is Dr. John Herbert Seward. The date of this recording is October 31, 2015. Nearly 1 year after what I'm now calling the Dracula incident was resolved. I admit that I am extremely reluctant to assemble these recordings, as they both jeopardize my career, as well as reveal the personal details of some very close friends. Nevertheless, those of us who remain believe it's vital that this information not remain secret, as to do so would be an insult to those of us who fought and struggled, as well as to those who died. I only ask that as you listen to these recordings, you set aside your prejudice and decide for yourself what to believe.
Ooh, come on back, Tom. Ooh, I was getting, my hairs were going up on my arm. I don't care what anybody says.
He's a great actor. His name's Bill Castrogiovanni, and he plays Dr. Seward. And my scenes were with Bill. And there's an interesting dynamic between Seward and Renfield. And Renfield kind of sees through this guy and knows how to push his buttons. And this guy is really kind of unprepared for, kind of what's happening to Renfield, because it's supernatural. I mean, Renfield is like I say, teetering on this continuum and snarling and growling. Mm-hmm. And oh boy, I mean, I don't want to spoil. I don't put any spoilers out there, but Renfield and Seward have quite a couple confrontations.
I'll bet.
Even in particular.
Do you get to say master?
I get to say master. Yeah, the master. Well, actually, I think it's in season 1. I think we end season 1 with my maniacal laugh, and it's, the master is coming. The master's coming, and it's like, oh, okay. It's got all the spooky sound effects that everybody comes to expect. It did wonderful post-production on this, so I think people won't be disappointed if they're into that
stuff.
Psychological terror.
Hey, listen, can you hang in? We're going to do our second break. Can you hang in? I want to talk to you about you and Angela's book, and then we'll let you go. And if I don't do it, she finds out. She'll be mad at us. You know what I mean? All right, so you hang in there. We're going to take our break, and we're going to be back with Tom McLaren, talk a little bit more about his career and the Dracula Files. I'm telling you, I got scared just listening to that. Anyway, it's the Jim Craine Show. It's 8:51. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
This is the Jim Craine Show.
Listen to Off the Press with Scott Cronick as he broadcasts live from the Chart House at the Golden Nugget, Atlantic City, Tuesday from 4 to 6. You can find Scott kicking off his 50 Bites journey. Stop by and get your 50 Bites pass, plus passes for half off. That's right, 62 bites in all for just $25 from October 13th through December 1st. More details and a list of participating restaurants at acweekly.com. That's 50 Bites at the Chart House at Golden Nugget with Off the Press with Scott Cronick. Live on Tuesday from 4 to 6, right here on News Talk 1400 WOND.
The year is 1776 with the Continental Congress.
Order! Will the room please come to order? I know not what others may say, but as for me, give me my JoJo's, or give me death. What? JoJo's Italian Grill, or death. I don't know about you, but I can go for some authentic homemade Italian food.
Yes, good idea. Okay, everyone, that's lunch. Back in an hour.
Okay, maybe not since 1776, but there's a reason people have been making JoJo's a family tradition since 1972. Tony, Rita, Joe, and Anthony have been offering delicious homemade dishes since day one. JoJo's is a slice of Sicily, everything a homemade. It's just like eating with the family, only you don't have to do the dishes.
Another not-so-correct history lesson, courtesy of JoJo's Italian Grill. Open 7 days a week, starting at 11 a.m., with 2 great locations. In Pleasantville, at the corner of the Black Horse Pike and Main Street, and in Egg Harbor Township in Risley Commons, just before English Creek Road. JoJo's Italian Grill. Sample their menu at jojositaliangrill.net.
This is a referral service. Calls will be routed to an independent referral insurance agency. Do you know the number one cause of bankruptcy? No, it's not losing your job or running up credit card debt. It's not even divorce. It's medical costs. If you and your family don't have health insurance, just one serious illness or accident could be financially devastating. But now there's good news, really good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide health insurance for all Americans, even uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Now anyone can get health insurance even if you have a pre-existing medical condition. I repeat, now anyone can get health insurance coverage. Call now for a free no-obligation quote on affordable health plans available to you. Again, this is a free hotline for anyone, even if you have pre-existing conditions. Protect you and your family from sudden unexpected medical costs. Call the free health insurance hotline right now at 1-800-839-4140. That's 1-800-839-4140. Call 1-800-839-4140.
WOND Pleasantville.
Mr. Craine, I have loved you. I have followed you all the way, and I have listened to you every single day. And I may have not called in because I'm not a person to call into your radio station. I'm not a person to talk. But I'll tell you, I love you, sweetie.
Well, we can't promise that you'll love us this much, but you'll never know until you try. Tune into Prime Time with Dan Klein, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m., right here on News Talk 1400 WOND.
Listen weekends for total traffic updates prepared fresh by Subway, here on News Talk 1400 WOND.
Yes, my friends, the Dracula Files with Tom McLaren on the Jim Craine Show tonight. Welcome back, Tom. Hello.
Hello.
You know, he actually did. I talked to some people that actually met him, and he did talk like that.
Really? In real life?
Yeah.
Wow.
In real life, yeah. It's kind of cool.
I would have sure loved to have met that gentleman. I mean, wow, what an icon.
Yeah, I'm going up to the, they have a sort of like the Hollywood show or something. It's called The Chiller, and they have it up here in North Jersey at the, in Parsippany. And Sarah Karloff is going to be there, and Vincent Price's daughter is going to be there too. But I can't wait to go up to Sarah Karloff and go, "Hello, my dear. So nice to see you." You know, it's going to be kind of interesting.
We're gonna have to get you in season 3 of the Dracula Files.
Oh, I would love it, and I'm in the union and all. So your book with Angela, it's a great book. We had you on here before, The Styling of the Stars, The Lost Treasures from the 20th Century Fox Archive. Makes a great Christmas gift. Get it now on Amazon. And it's a great book, but you're going to be having a soft, like a coffee table soft cover version of this coming out in 2017?
Yeah, it's currently available in hardcover as kind of that high-quality, high-end collectible book. Mm-hmm. But our publisher, Insight Editions, has decided they're going to do a softcover version coming next year.
Cool.
It's coming in April of 2017, and it'll be something more for the bookshelf rather than the coffee table. It'll be at a lower suggested retail price, so for those who are a little more cost-conscious, this is kind of a way you can get this book.
Right.
Angela and I are so proud of this book. We're so pleased that we're going to get a soft cover because hopefully more people will get to see these great, never-before-seen photographs.
Hey, Danny, I don't know if you knew this, but on Facebook, when we did Angela and Tom about this book before, they featured our interview on Facebook as part of their promotion for the book, and I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, that you picked our show to release that on Facebook. Tell Angie, give her a kiss for me, and tell her I still want her and Bill Mooney about their new book. Okay.
Yeah. Angela, for those who may not be certain who we're talking about, Angela Cartwright, The Sound of Music.
Oh yeah.
TV's Danny Thomas Show. She did a book with Bill Mooney from Lost in Space called Lost and Found in Space.
Yep.
And it's a great book. And she's done several books if you look at her career over the past few years. But Styling the Stars, Lost Treasures from the 20th Century Fox Archive is just one that's very near and dear to her and to me.
Oh, yeah.
We worked so hard, and what it is for those who are not familiar with it, it's rare, never before seen photographs from the archives of all the great movie stars from the 1930s to the 1970s. You've got Clark Gable to Steve McQueen, Betty Grable to Anne Margaret. They're all in there. The focus is continuity photos, which were not intended to be seen by the public. They weren't used for publicity purposes.
Right.
They were really just for hair, makeup, and wardrobe department usage only. So there's thousands and thousands of these photographs in the archive, and so we've pulled out some of the best, the biggest and the best, and so we're very, very proud of this
And
book.
it's a great book. Tom, we wish you nothing but success with the Dracula Files, and we'll remind people again, you can get this on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, and if you want the actual CD, StoryForgeProductions.com. And we appreciate you being with us, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Can I plug my website one quick time?
You certainly can. Go right ahead.
Thank you. Anybody who wants to find out more about me, go to tom-mclaren.com. I've got all my links on there for social media. I've got a Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter. Anybody sends me a message, I will send you a message back, I promise.
All right, Thomas, my lad. Listen, you have a fine evening out there on the West Coast. How's the weather out there, man? We got all this rain up here and all this mess from the hurricane and everything. How's everything on the West?
The West Coast is perfect. I'm sure the people on the East Coast don't want to hear that. It's hot and sunny. My thoughts and prayers for everybody on the East Coast.
Thank you. And God bless, and thanks so much, there, Tom McLaren. We'll plug this again. And good night, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Good night, master. See you later.
Good night, master.
Take care.